Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry the Movies with your host, Jerry Saravia. So today I'm briefly going to talk about Martin-Scorsese and the shooting of his new film, The Wolf of Wall Street, which stars Leonardo-DiCaprio. Gene-Hackman is the narrator. Gene-Hackman, by the way, his last film was The Runaway Jury in 2003, so approximately 10 years later he returns to do a film which apparently he had retired, but nevertheless he's back. So he's a narrator for the film. Jonah-Hill is in the film, Matthew McConaughey. But I'm not going to discuss The Wolf of Wall Street or what the story is about, but rather the fact that a couple of months ago or so, Thelma Schoonmaker, which is Scorsese's longtime editor, said that Scorsese was distraught, but he had to switch to shooting digitally, on digital video, for his new film, The Wolf of Wall Street. Now, I've discussed Scorsese using digital or converting to digital camera instead of 35mm film before. In fact, it's part of a new film hosted by, I believe, or at least he's part of the presentation interviewing different film directors, Keanu Reeves, in a film called Side by Side. So Hugo, by the way, Martin Scorsese's last picture, which came out last November, was shot in 3D. Needed to be, the only way to be in 3D for the purposes of that film was to shoot digitally, which it was, which I wasn't actually even aware of at the time or didn't pay attention to. It still looked like a regular film. So these are expensive video cameras, not the the ratio of 16:9 video cameras that you would get at any retail establishment. We're talking high-end $20,000-$30,000 type cameras, if not even more than that. I don't know the price, but they're expensive and not easy to get. So according to the Internet Movie Database, Martin Scorsese is shooting Wolf of Wall Street using an Arricam-LT, which is a light 35mm movie camera manufactured by Arri, and also using a Hawk V-Lite and V+ lenses. And this film will be shot with anamorphic lenses, which is essentially a very wide screen, how can I put it, like a wide angle lens. And this will be the first time he shot this a film like this since Bringing Out the Dead in 1999. The cinematographic process is a Hawk scope. So notice what I said, an Arricam-LT, which is an Arricam light movie camera. That's a 35mm movie camera. So it's 35mm movie film, not digital. And this type of camera is very light, hence why it's called an LT, and it's optimized for smaller, lightweight usage in handheld and Steadicam application, with only the option to mount the magazine in the rear position. And if you've seen the behind-the-scenes pictures I showed right at the start of the film, that's exactly what you see is an Arricam-LT camera. And so the magazine, the film magazine essentially, which usually holds 10 minutes of film, or if not more, is in the rear position. So it's a film camera. Now, the other aspect is Hawk V-Lite or V+ lenses. I didn't really see a whole lot on that, although I understand that Vantage is also a film camera. There are 14 different lenses in this series that goes from 25mm to 250mm, and they use anamorphic lenses, small ones, which are ideal for handheld and Steadicam applications. Steadicam, in case most of you do not know, it's essentially the person holding the camera, which can be handheld, but a Steadicam allows for almost no, it's very stable. So it gives the impression of very smooth traveling or shot without using dolly tracks, etc. But it's also useful with a crane and then there's handheld application and so on. Anyway, point is, the Hawk V-Lite 16 is a set of new lenses for 16mm anamorphic production. Now, these type of lenses could also be used for 35mm film or for a 16 ratio 16:9 digital camera. Now, what's interesting is I read this article about anamorphic lenses, and apparently somebody used an anamorphic lens on a Canon 5D MK2 type of camera, which is the same kind of camera that was used for the show, or is used for the show Hawaii Five-0, the new one, and some shots in the Avengers that came out last summer also used this type of camera. Point is, you can attach a true anamorphic lens to a video camera. So just by using an anamorphic lens doesn't mean that it's you're shooting only on film, but also digitally. Anyway, somebody raised a good point. I read a comment by somebody about The Wolf of Wall Street, which says that maybe the first half of the film will be shot on film, 35mm film, and the second half of the film may be shot with video, digital video, which is a possibility. But let's just say that part of Wolf of Wall Street, I think we can make that a definitive fact, is being shot on film, again with an Arricam-LT, which is a light 35mm movie camera. So there's the proof. So that's it. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. I guess because he said that he was going to be switching digital, but he already had with Hugo. And it wasn't that noticeable to me, but I didn't see it in a movie theater. And even in a movie theater, I can't say I can always tell the difference, unless, of course, it's, VHS quality. And nobody really shoots a movie on VHS anymore, not for a big production anyway. So, digital cameras just, again, it's, I guess the point of this is digital cameras or film cameras, the laws of lenses still apply the same way, right? So you can use an anamorphic lens on a digital camera, and you can use one on a 35mm camera, or what have you. The laws remain the same. Lenses are lenses. But if you saw that first picture, you could tell it's clearly a film camera. So I don't know. I thought it would just be interesting to point that out. Yeah, there it is. So anyway, until next time, this is Jerry the Movies with your host Jerry Saravia, signing off.